Hey, honey bunches of oats, guess what? Jackie's back, honey, and Jackie's cooking. Get your friends, get your neighbors, get your family members, and let them know that Jackie's whipping up some delicious brown butter chocolate chip cookies. I'm gonna let you know something right now. Don't come cursing me out. Don't come for me, because I cannot be held responsible for how good these cookies taste. Okay? Well, guys, before anything, please click subscribe, share, and like on my YouTube channel. So here it is. We got our ingredients all laid out. We're going to go through the ingredients for these delicious cookies. We have about 2 3/4 cups of flour, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon and a half of baking soda, 1 tablespoon of pure vanilla. Please don't get that cheap imitation vanilla. Oh no. A cup and a half of light brown or dark brown sugar. A half a cup of white sugar. Got tongue tied there. 1 1/2 cups of walnuts. Optional, you could use hazelnuts, pecans, cashews, I don't know. 2 whole eggs plus 1 egg yolk. 2 cups of some good old chocolate chips. I got semi-chocolate chips. You could use dark chocolate, you could use milk chocolate, you could mix it together, dark and semi together, whatever pleases your fancy. Look at that baby there. I love chocolate. And we got 2 sticks and 1/4 of unsalted butter, or an equivalent to 1 1/4 cups of unsalted butter. Okay, so guys, we're gonna melt our butter. Guys, I have to let you know I had to switch pans when I was melting this, because for some reason, every time I use this pan, all the grease be popping in my face, and I just cannot. Okay, so now we are going to melt this butter down, and the reason why we're melting this butter down is because we want to get rid of that excess water from the butter. So as the butter starts to melt, it's going to start to foam. And at this point, that's when all the butter is going to start browning. At this point, you're going to start seeing all those little brown specks and stuff throughout the butter. See, like that. And you're going to smell that nutty flavor. See, look at that little brown specks right there. Look at that. Right there, right there. There you go. Now, at this point, do not walk away. Don't go get in the telephone. Don't run to change the channel. Don't blink, because if you do, at this point, your butter may burn. And if it burns, honey, you're going to have to throw the whole thing away. And that's too much work for me. Okay? So now, you're going to sit up here. You're going to be patient. You're going to stir this butter until it gets to a nice brown. And you'll be able to tell when it's going to burn, because of course it's going to smell rancid. It's going to start smelling like it's burning, but you just want to keep that consistent nutty smell. Okay? Look at that there. You see those little brown bits right there? That's what we want. Keep browning it. Keep stirring, honey. Don't stop, don't stop. And there we go right there. Look at that. That's what we want. Look at that nice brown color. Look at that. You see that? Now what we're going to do, we're going to let this butter cool down. At this point, if you have a hand mixer or a stand mixer, you could throw this melted butter in. But because I love you and because I'm being considerate, I'm going to do this by hand to show for those who don't have a hand mixer or a stand mixer how easy this is. Okay, so you're going to add your sugars and you're going to mix them in with that melted butter, just to get it nice and incorporated. Okay, and you see, guys, it looks like it's thick right now, but when you start adding the eggs and stuff, of course the texture is going to change. Okay, so what we're going to do now, guys, we're going to take our eggs, we're going to beat them, and we're going to mix them in. And since we're doing this by hand, of course I'm going to have to do a little bit extra, but if you have a mixer, just make sure that you don't overwork it. You just want to incorporate the eggs in, okay? Okay, so let's mix those eggs in there. Get them nice and incorporated. And it's coming together nice. It looks like caramel. Doesn't it look like a nice thick caramel? See, I had to change spoons because, you know, gotta put a little on there. Now here goes our 1 tablespoon of pure vanilla. Please do not use that cheap stuff of vanilla. I know vanilla's expensive. I already know. But if you have some rum in your house, use a tablespoon of rum. If you have bourbon, baby, you put some bourbon up in this, oh my God. Listen, I can't be held responsible. We just want to mix this nicely because for some reason brown sugar tends to act up. So I want to make sure the brown sugar is nicely incorporated and dissolved into this melted butter. I don't want no lumps and bumps up in my cookies. I want a nice smooth mixture right now. And you see those little specks of butter? Those little brown specks? All that's gonna just go throughout that cookie dough. That looks so good. That looks good enough to eat right now. Okay. Okay, so please don't think I'm beating the crap out of it, but I just want to make sure this is nice and incorporated, okay? If you're going to do something, do it right. That's my motto. Look at that. Now we have our dry mixture. We got that flour, that salt, that baking soda. We're going to mix all that together thoroughly because you don't want to have one part over here with salt and the other part with baking soda. And no, we just want to make sure everything is incorporated nice and thoroughly. And the reason why we need that salt because the salt balances out that sugar. Okay, and if you don't have access to unsalted butter, you could use salted butter, but instead of using a teaspoon of salt, only use a half a teaspoon. Okay, now we're going to add our dry ingredients to our wet mixture. And we're going to gently incorporate the flour in. We don't want to overwork this. You know, we don't want to do that. We just want to gently incorporate it. Incorporate those dry ingredients. See how I'm doing it? I'm folding and turning. So now we're going to add our chocolate chips. At this point, you could go in. You could add white chocolate. You could add butterscotch chips. You could add peanut butter chips. You add chocolate chunks, white chocolate. I don't know if I said that already, but you could do all that, okay? The sky's the limit. This is yours. Make this yours. Have fun. Now we're going to take our nuts and we're going to add it to, wait a minute. Guys, I'm sorry. I had to pause for a second. Listen, I can't help the fact that I'm extra. I just had a thought. I'm going to toast those nuts because the reason why I want to get all those natural oils out of those walnuts. And what that's going to do, that's just going to amplify the flavor of those nuts in that cookie dough. Oh my God. Just on medium heat, you're gonna toast them nicely. Don't walk away. You don't want them to get burned, because if they get burned, they're gonna get that dark, nasty flavor in your mouth, and it's gonna be bitter, and you're gonna have to throw it away. We don't want that in our cookie dough now. No, we don't. Okay? So now, if you're gonna do this, guys, what I would suggest is do this first. So at least when your cookie dough is done, it'll be already nice and cool, because you don't want to add it hot in the cookie dough, melt all your chips all over the place. You got a big old mess. No, we don't want that. Just like that. That's what we're looking for. And it's going to smell so fragrant too. So just to speed it up, I'm going to fold those nuts into my cookie dough. Now, if you don't want to add walnuts, you could add pecans, I don't know, cashews, peanuts. Again, the sky's the limit. Okay, if you're allergic to nuts and can't have nuts or don't like nuts, don't add nuts. The choice is yours. Okay, so now I'm going to fold everything in. Okay, for those who are using a hand mixer or a stand mixer, what I would suggest that you do is gently do this on low. Do not overwork this, because you do not want a tough dough. We are not looking for that. All we want to do is just to have that flour mixture, just incorporate it in there, and just keep turning the bowl and folding. And we're turning the bowl and folding. Listen, let me tell y'all something. You must really know I care and I love you, because, baby, if it wasn't for y'all, I would have thrown this bad boy in my KitchenAid right now and let it do the work for me, because girl could be a little lazy sometimes. But listen, that's me. But again, I'm being considerate, and I want to show you how easy it is. We just want to do this until until the flour disappears. And after we finish mixing this, guys, we're going to put this into our fridge, and we're going to let it cool for at least an hour, minimum of an hour, okay? This dough can last in the fridge for about 3 days. And believe it or not, the longer it sits in there, believe it or not, the stronger the butter nutty flavor amplifies in the cookie dough. Trust in what I say, okay? And if you want, guys, you could also put this mixture into the freezer. Okay, you could portion out the dough. So when you want to have cookies, you could just take out what you want. Do not cook all this at once, because you will not come here and curse me out, because I cannot be responsible for how good these taste, okay? Okay, look at that dough there. Now, after the dough has cooled, we're going to take it out. Okay, we're going to preheat our oven to 350 degrees. This is what you call a Silpat. You can get this on Amazon. They're pretty inexpensive. Okay, it just keeps your cookies from sticking onto the pan. If you do not have a Silpat, parchment paper is just as good. That right there is a little ice cream scoop, which I'm going to use. And if you don't have one of those either, you can use a regular spoon. Don't stress yourself out. It's not that deep. Trust me. Okay, we're going to get very hefty with this. And what we're going to do, we're going to take the dough and we're going to roll it in between our hands so we can make balls out of them, okay? Cookie balls. Now guys, with this, I usually leave it from between, it depends on what kind of texture cookies people want. I like soft batch, so I would only leave it there for 10 minutes. If you're looking for more of a crispy outer with a soft chewy interior, I would leave it there for like 12 minutes. But if you want an extra crispy cookie with that extra crisp on there, I would leave it in the oven for at least 15 minutes, okay? But when you take those cookies out, you have to let them cool. You have to be patient. You gotta let them cool or they're gonna be breaking all apart on you, honey, and you don't want that. Let them cool down, trust me, and it's gonna get firm enough for you to pick it up. And you don't wanna burn the roof of your mouth either. That is not a good feeling. I'm so extra. I don't know what I was doing. I guess I was just happy making these cookies. And I think that's such a secret when you're cooking or baking. It's just about the love that you're putting into your work. So on this batch here, I was only doing 8 cookies here. And this is going to be for the crispy cookie that with the chewiness on the side. That's going to be baked for 12 minutes. And guys, you could also follow me on Facebook. I'll leave the link below. And you could just link on it and follow me on Facebook. Jackie's Cooking. Voila! So now that we got them shaped into balls, what we're going to do, I'm going to give the cookies a head start by slightly flattening them. Don't flatten it all the way now. You don't want to do that, but you just want to flatten them a little bit just to give them a head start. Okay? Now you might think it's a little bit extra that I'm doing this, but I like to see my cookies uniform. I don't like to see one big glop over here that's big and the other one is small and then the other one's all bent and discombobulated looking. No, I don't like that. I like it to look uniform. That's just me. Again, I am Miss Extra. I'm very doom. So now we got some chocolate chips, and again, we're gonna add some chocolate chips on top. And you'll probably ask me, well, Jackie, why are you doing that? Because again, and if you didn't know before, Jackie's Extra. So why not? What's a chocolate chip cookie without chocolate chips? I just like to put them on there because I like them to just be pronounced, be more pronounced, pop out. This is a chocolate chip cookie. And guys, you can also make these cookies bigger. I usually like to make them twice as big than this, especially when I'm doing events. I like to make the cookies a little bit bigger. I like those colossal looking cookies. I don't know, they're more appealing to me. I want to make sure those chocolate chips are nice and secured on top of the cookie. Here I go again. I just can't help myself. Trying to be all precise. Okay, so now we're gonna pop them bad boys up in that 350-degree oven. And this is the one that I baked for 12 minutes, and look at that. Oh my God. This is one with that slight crisp outside and that nice chew on the inside. Oh my God. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Baby. Now this is the one I really like. This is the soft batch. Look at all that. Listen, don't come for me. Don't curse me out. I cannot be held responsible. Don't call me saying, Jack, you get me fat. Listen, just bake them, love them, and tell everybody, Jack.